right, everyone. Welcome back to a new season. We're going to, as always, get things started with head coach Oscar Pareja. Oscar, if you want to just get us started with your thoughts on today's opener.
All right, very intense game for both teams. In the first half, I thought it was a little rough and rocky for us. Couldn't find sequences that we normally found, and the way we played and in our model. We found a team that was trying to get by speed, just trying to get the wings and break our pressure. But when we have the ball, we couldn't just create that sequences that get us much closer to the goal. So first half, we came to the half, we spoke about it, and we decided just to make a couple changes in the way we wanted to face the second half. Much better. Second half, much better. So it looked more like us. Then we created the options to score, not being so clean. But we respect the job that Montreal did as well, because they put their team in a very lower block in the second half, and they have a couple intents to go forward. But I think we dominated, not being that clear. But we take that point. I think we all had big expectations. I want to make sure that we all know that this is a long trip and we have to know how to navigate. It's not like we're going to score 4 goals in every single game. This is a process, and we take this tie today. The boys came from a long trip from Canada, and probably in the first half we didn't have that energy, but in second half we look much more. So I take this point. The boys will move on, and then we'll see and get ready for the next match.
Go Austin and then Michael.
Also, you kind of mentioned that first half struggle, just not being able to find those connections with players. You kind of attributed a little bit of that to the travel, but do you feel like there was something just mentally, with the team? What did you kind of see from them?
It was. We did a couple changes in the way we structured our elaboration in the first half, just because the way Montreal press, and we couldn't find that space. We had the ball, but it was not like advancing to the next third or just putting them in the lower block in their defensive third. So we were slow to take our team there. So it was much more for the strategy that I had that it did not work in the first part of the game.
Michael and then do Alonso.
Thanks for your time, Oscar. Just curious as to you talked a little. I'm sorry, your assistant talked a little bit about the need to recover from the game the other night after the game. What did you see in your team this week in training when you got back to start so many players that started on Wednesday night on the other side of the continent?
Right. Well, we didn't have too much time to train after our game in Canada, but not that we don't know what we needed to do today. We were fine. But the 2 days that we had was one do the regen and the other one just trying to plan our game today and trying to get those body recover. That's pretty much. But we're young. We're good. It's not like I'm making excuses at all now. But we should win it and have probably a better performance in the first half, especially. But as I said, I cannot just stay with the first half image. Is the second half we just brought us back to our level. It would be much better with 3 points, of course, but is what the game brought us today when we take it.
Alonso and then Luis.
Thank you, aquí. ¿Cómo está, profesor? Como decía usted, ¿no? De repente la gente y todos esperaban un resultado de los 3 puntos, pero buscando lo positivo, ¿se queda usted tranquilo sabiendo que moviendo piezas en su equipo dio resultados? Un equipo que no solamente son 11, sino es todo el roster. ¿Cómo se queda el cuerpo técnico y usted con este, no resultado exactamente, pero el performance que tuvo el equipo?
Bueno, estoy muy contento con el partido de David Brekalo. David debe tener con nosotros 3 o 4 entrenamientos ahora, ¿no? Y yo lo vi como si hubiese estado más tiempo ya con el grupo. Eso me tiene muy contento. I'm talking about the way I saw David today, David Brekalo, in a game that he has trained with us 3 or 4 times. So I saw him more fluid with the group, and that just made me feel very good. En lo otro, sí, yo creo que estamos todos con ganas de ver el Orlando ganando todos los partidos porque ese fue nuestro año, ¿no? Pero tenemos que irlo calibrando. Hoy no hay nada que decir, tuvimos un primer tiempo discreto, el segundo tiempo mucho mejor. Y bueno, ahí vamos, ahí nos iremos yendo.
We'll go to Luis and then Mike.
Hi, Profe. Dagor Dan, he had a great game today, a lot of chances created. What would you say about his performance tonight?
Good, Dagur keeps growing. I just have the sensation of the feeling that we can be cleaner in the last part of the field because they spend too much energy to getting in those spaces and creating those opportunities. But at the end, we need to be cleaner. And I'm not saying about Dagur, I'm saying about the team, the guys that occupy those spaces. But his performance is good. He's very honest. Dagur brought us his energy all the time in that side of the game, and he's learning much more about the connections that he can do in the middle third. But we gotta be cleaner in the final.
We'll go to Mike and then Danielle.
Profe, bueno, me imagino que en cada partido alguien viene, bueno, ya se sabe que hay un reto que siempre va a existir en el campo. Montreal trajo ese reto cuando jugaron con una línea más alta y pienso que les trajo esa dificultad en el primer tiempo y pudieron adaptar. Fue un poco inesperado en cómo planteó Montreal hoy su once y bueno, pusieron esa presión al grupo hoy donde, bueno, me imagino en el medio tiempo tuvieron que adaptar y hacer esos cambios como lo acabas de decir en inglés.
El primer tiempo no que nos sorprenda Montreal, sino que nosotros no tuvimos claridad en la secuencia de la elaboración del juego. Estábamos muy lentos para salir de atrás. Entonces ellos cuando recuperaban la pelota, la recuperaban en zona media y en algún momento nos hicieron sentir de que podían también hundirnos, ¿no? Entonces fue ese partido del primer tiempo donde no tuvimos esa superioridad que nosotros estábamos imaginando. So we imagine a superiority in the first half, everybody, and we as a players and coaches, we were expecting a domination of the game, but we couldn't. They reacted and they had players too, and they create a couple chances in around the box too. So it's not like it's going to be so easy to do things. We need to play much better, but in second half we did it.
Danielle and then wrap up with Austin.
You guys have a pretty loaded first couple weeks of your schedule, 4 matches in about a 2-week stretch. Comes time to managing minutes and thinking about who's getting more playing time. How do those kind of conversations go, and what kind of things are you looking for as you go into maybe the second half of this pretty hectic stretch right now?
Right. Yeah, it comes from the non-activity or in terms of the competition, other than the friendly games that we had and these international games that we played in Canada, to a couple of weeks that is going to be very busy. That's pretty similar to what we have at the end of last year. But now this is our job. We have to recover and be able to do it. We are athletes and this is our responsibility. There's not one excuse at all that we can bring. We have to recover well. It's tight, but this is normal.
Austin, go ahead.
Oscar, you had 3 days between the Champions Cup match in Victoria to this game, and now you have another 3 days before your next Champions Cup match, but at least you don't have to travel for this one. With the opportunity to move on into the next round, how important is it for just being able to get these guys recovered and preparing for that match on Tuesday?
Right now it's important, the recording, especially for the ones who will start in the game and have started in the last 2. So they know that the urgency on being active with just getting their back ready to the competition is there. We have some other players that can play it as well, and they're waiting for that opportunity. So we try to mix the group and just put in the equation the fact that we play in the derby at the end of the week. But we're good. We're good. Listen, this is you all know. You have navigated this journey with me here. This is game one. There is more 33 in front of us, and we're going. But again, second half was much more like us, and we feel like but we're going. We're going in a good direction.
Rafa, just to get things started, obviously quick turnaround for the team, but how do you feel after this season opener?
Foi jogo muito certo, compacto ao outro, mas como é que vocês sentem depois do primeiro jogo?
Não foi da maneira que a gente queria, né? A gente queria a vitória não veio, saímos com o empate, né? Pior da ocasião seria a derrota, mas não foi o que a gente queria a vitória, mas temos que pensar que viemos de um jogo já muito difícil também, fora de casa, uma viagem muito longa, mas isso também não é desculpa, né? Mas viemos para ganhar, estamos aqui para ganhar, né? Então a gente saiu um pouco frustrado pelo jogo, pelo que a gente criou no jogo, né? Tudo que a gente fez, buscamos o gol a todo momento, mas não saiu. E a gente tem que seguir, saber que o campeonato é muito longo e ir pro próximo jogo, que é importante.
The game did not turn out the way that we wanted. We wanted the win. We unfortunately weren't able to do that. We did get the draw, which is better than a loss, but we again wanted the win. It was a tough game after coming from another tough game and a very long voyage, but these aren't excuses. We leave frustrated from this game because, again, we wanted to win. We were always looking for the opportunity to make goal. We had our chances, but we're going to continue to look ahead because the tournament is long and we know that we'll get opportunities moving ahead.
Switch it up and go Michael, then Austin.
Thanks for your time, Rafa. Second half was much better for Orlando City. What did you like about the way your team played tonight, and what needs to be better for the next game?
Obrigado pelo tempo, Rafa. A segunda parte foi melhor para o Orlando City. O que é que tu gostaste da maneira que eles jogaram e o que é que não gostaste?
A maneira do outro time?
Não,
do nosso time?
de vocês.
A gente não estava esperando um time adversário vindo muito fechado contra a gente. A gente achou que eles iriam sair um pouco mais, né? Tava muito difícil da gente finalizar por conta de muita gente na área deles, então isso foi o que dificultou mais a gente. Por isso que eu falo que a gente buscou o gol a todo momento e hoje parecia que não era o dia, né? Porque sabemos que a gente não perde as oportunidades que a gente tem, né? Toda vez que a gente tem oportunidade, a gente sempre faz. E hoje parecia que não era um dia comum assim, né? Pelas oportunidades que a gente perdeu. Mas a gente tem que seguir, a gente tem que levantar a cabeça, a gente tem que saber que é só o começo do campeonato, que tem muito jogo pela frente, né? No próximo jogo aí a gente tem que buscar a classificação, é o nosso pensamento agora, porque esse jogo já passou, já empatamos, já foi. Agora o nosso momento agora é pensar na nossa classificação para a gente seguir no campeonato.
We weren't expecting them to be so compact. We were expecting them to play a little bit more open, and they were very compact. It was very difficult to find spaces and opportunities within the tight areas that they were creating, and that's why we found it so difficult to score a goal. We wanted the goal. We had a couple of opportunities to score the goal, and in other games, those opportunities would result in a goal, and it felt like tonight that just wasn't happening. We have to have our heads held high. We know that the tournament is long. This game has already passed. It's a draw, and now we look ahead to continue to pick up points and rise in the table.
We'll go Austin and Alonso.
Rafa, you kind of talked about the compactness of the team and how you weren't expecting it. Do you feel like that was kind of what threw you guys off in that first half, and kind of going into the second half? How did you guys adjust to that compactness of Montreal?
Falaste da maneira que eles jogaram muito compacto, muito fechado. Por que é que isso surpreendeu a vocês? E depois na segunda parte, o que é que vocês fizeram diferente para jogar contra eles jogarem tão compacto?
Nos surpreendeu porque às vezes quando os adversários vêm jogar contra a gente aqui, eles tentam nos pressionar, né? Mas a gente acaba saindo no nosso treinamento do dia a dia, a gente já é acostumado, Por isso que nem ano passado, era muito difícil pegar um time que jogava bem fechado contra a gente. Creio que isso a gente tem que levar pra gente, por conta do ano passado, às vezes é por causa disso, né? A gente fez um grande campeonato ano passado, pro nosso time é um time muito difícil de ser abatido, então creio que foi isso, né? Por isso que eles vieram bem fechado, nos dificultando mais. E pro segundo tempo a gente chegou, conversou, viu como que seria a nossa maneira mais fácil de poder entrar na área deles, né? E a gente tentou, né? Do que a gente conversou, a gente colocou em prática tudo. A gente tentou, batemos na trave tudo, mas a bola não entrou. Mas tudo que a gente conversou, a gente colocou em prática e saiu. Isso foi uma coisa boa, né? Tudo que o professor Oscar falou, a gente colocou em prática. Mas hoje não era o dia e a bola não entrou no gol, então vamos seguir para a próxima.
It surprised us because usually when teams come here to our house and play against us, they usually try and pressure us. They try and attack us very aggressively, and we have been very successful in playing through that and finding our spaces. And perhaps that's maybe what got in our heads this time, that last year we had so much success doing that, that when Montreal came tonight and they played very tightly, very compactly, we weren't able to break through them in the way that we were used to doing so last season. At halftime, we spoke. Oscar walked us through ways that we were able to find spaces and break through that compactness, and they worked. We applied everything that Oscar said in the second half, and we were able to find those opportunities. We hit the crossbar. We came very close to goal. Goals were offside, and unfortunately, it just wasn't our night. But now we just need to look ahead. This game is behind us, and we're going to look to get the victory in the next match.
Thank you, Aki. ¿Cómo está, Rafael? I would like to ask you, as a left back, you like to go forward. And also head coach Oscar Pareja changed many pieces in the midfield because he started with Araujo and then with Cartagena, ending with Lodeiro, Felipe, making more subs. And then even in the defender, he put Smith. You, like I said, as a left back, how do you feel when the coach moved the pieces, but at the same time the team is still performing the same or even better? And it leads also in the great crosses that you make in the second half.
Tu como extremo da esquerda, como é que sentes quando o Oscar está a mudar as peças durante o jogo e o time continua a jogar bem? Mudou o Felipe, mudou o Nico, entrou o Martino Reda, mas tu ainda conseguias ter sucesso e fazer os cruzamentos como tu fazes. Como é que isso se sente?
O nosso grupo é muito preparado, né? Nosso grupo é muito preparado, independente de quem vai entrar, já sabe o que tem que fazer dentro da partida, né? A gente treina muito, né? Sempre rotando aí as equipes para saber o nosso entrosamento sempre continuar da mesma maneira. Então, quando chega dentro do campo, né? É poucos minutos que a gente tem para pensar. Mas esses poucos minutos que a gente tem para pensar, todo mundo já sabe o que tem que fazer, né? Sempre chegar na área, né? O máximo de gente na área, independente de quando seja o Felipe, seja o Lodeiro, seja o Faco, seja o Ivan, né? Todo mundo ali já sabe o que tem que fazer, né? O Wilder também já sabe também. Eu e o Wilder ali a gente sempre se comunica bastante, né? Mas todo mundo que entra no decorrer da partida, nós todos já sabemos o que tem que fazer dentro, né? O Oscar já deixa bem tudo planejado do que a gente tem que fazer, né? E todo mundo tem sabe sua lição, né? Do que fazer dentro de campo. Então é isso, muita comunicação, né? Nos treinamentos, e adaptação com o companheiro ali dentro do campo, né? Então isso que nos deixa tranquilo, porque independente de quem vai estar dentro do campo, já sabe a maneira de jogar e já sabe o que tem que fazer dentro do campo.
We are just very prepared, regardless of who is playing and who's going to come in. We know what we have to do. We, in training sessions, are constantly rotating the teams. When we play, as you guys know, there's not a lot of time to think. But in those small moments where pieces are changing, we all know what we have to do, regardless of if it's Nico or Felipe or Facu. Everyone knows what they have to do. Myself and Wilder, we communicate a lot. We're constantly talking throughout the match, and everyone knows their role. goal. Oscar does a really good job at leaving everything very well planned out. Communication and adaptation on the pitch and during the training sessions are what leads to us being so prepared during the matches. And independent of who's starting and how much time individuals have on the pitch, we all know our role.
Luis, last one.
Oi, Rafa, boa noite. Você criou muitas chances no ataque, fez 7 cruzamentos, mas ninguém acertou. O que a equipe pode fazer melhor para finalizar essas jogadas?
Eu falo por mim também, né? Não é só a equipe, eu também tô, né? A gente é um grupo, a gente é unido. Eu tenho que melhorar meus cruzamentos também, né? Creio que por ser no começo do campeonato também, a gente não pode ficar se cobrando muito, né? A gente tem que saber que o campeonato é muito longo. Tem muita coisa para vir pela frente, tem muita coisa que a gente tem que melhorar pela frente, né? Mas a gente está no caminho certo também, né? Pelas partidas que a gente vem fazendo, desde o ano passado, tudo que a gente está colocando em prática, isso leva tempo também, né? Então, para esse ano, só estamos no começo. Creio que todo mundo vai melhorar, né? Questão de finalização, questão de marcação, questão de cruzamento, né? O nosso grupo é muito bom, o nosso grupo se cobra muito, né? Para a gente vencer todas as partidas, né? Então é isso, é questão de treinamento, né? A gente tem que saber que todas as oportunidades que a gente tem que fazer o gol, né? Pra gente acabar não pecando lá na frente. Então, é isso. Não é questão de melhorar muito, mas sim saber finalizar da maneira certa, né? Quando a gente chega na frente do gol. E ter calma também. Então, a gente é um grupo, não é o que os meus companheiros têm que melhorar, é o que eu também tenho que melhorar, né? Então é isso, a gente é um grupo e a gente vai melhorar cada vez mais para a gente chegar no gol e a gente acabar finalizando bem, acabar finalizando certo para a gente sair com a vitória.
Rafa was asked, he put in 7 crosses into the box, successful crosses, but unfortunately no one was able to finish those crosses. So what does he think that the team needs to improve upon to turn those opportunities into goal? I speak for myself as well. We are a group, and I also have to improve my crosses. It's the beginning of the season, and we can't be too hard on ourselves. There are many, many good things to come, and we all have things to improve upon. Good things take time, and we're all going to get better. I'm going to get better at my crossing. My teammates are going to get better at their finishing, and this all happens during training sessions. We all know that every opportunity that we get to score a goal needs to be a goal. And it's not a question of major improvements, but just working on the little details that we have been working on since last season, being precise in front of goal and also being calm in front of goal. And so that's what we all have to work on. My teammates and myself, we're going to continue to improve. The season is long, and we will all improve on those things.
All right, everyone, we're going to wrap things up here with David Brekalo, our newest acquisition. So, David, just to get things started, how do you feel after your first minutes with Orlando City?
Was nice to finally play official game again, and felt good out there, and I'm happy for my debut.
All right, we'll go to Austin, and then Michael, and then Mike.
David, the 77 minutes played after just training with the team for a couple of weeks, but you led the team in interceptions, tackles, and clearances. What was kind of working for you? I know you play a little bit of preseason with the team, but with this being your first, official match and with the crowd and everything, how was just your kind of overall feeling of playing with the rest of the team?
No, like I said, it felt good, and I need to say thanks to all of my teammates and coaching staff and everyone. It was also a difficult period for me because getting fixed all the documents and flying to Canada 2 days before the game. So like I said, it's I just try to keep it simple today, honestly. But still, I was forcing a few times. But it will come. It will come, I think, with more and more trainings and games with my teammates. And but I also again felt that on official game, I was taking many heavy touches. I'm usually better than this, but like I said, it's gonna come and it's gonna be okay.
Michael?
David, welcome to Orlando. What is it like for a player when you're training with the team and you're waiting for that paperwork to come through and it's you never know when it's going to come through. Is it a frustrating wait for you as a player to be able to get the green light to get into a game?
I would say not frustrating, but it's always this option of doubt. If am I gonna play, or then one training I do with the team, like for a first selection, and then I'm off the next day. But it's a good thing that I kept focus and kept the confidence that it's gonna be fixed before the game, and I think it went good.
Mike, and then Alonso.
David, welcome to Orlando. Obviously, you mentioned you were kind of going in and out of trainings with the whole paperwork. Prior to signing, what did you know about Major League Soccer? And after a game today against a Major League Soccer team, what are your impressions of a Montreal squad and obviously the competition that awaits their season?
Yeah, I didn't know, honestly. A lot. I have few friends that play in MLS, and I asked them about their opinion before joining the Orlando, and they said that everything around the football, it's soccer, it's on the highest level. So, and I'm also happy with the facilities and the grass pitch that we have, because I used to play on turf. But yeah, it was. I think also today it was a good game, and it was quite high intensity, which I like, and I like to play with high line. And it fits in our team style of play. It fits me, and now it's just to get also done with my injury. That's also the reason why I was on and off the training field, and like focus on health and on conditioning and getting a team chemistry.
Oh, thank you. Kakosti, dobra igra.
Yes.
Hi,
Thanks.
I know you a few days here, and I wanted to ask you, because I see you in training with Robin, Robbie Johnson, and did he tell you anything like, hey, just pass me the ball if you feel so much pressure, just clear to whatever player? As a captain, did he talk to you before the game?
No, we did talk obviously a lot, and as a captain and as a let's say center back, we share the same position. We know how it feels on the pitch, and I was just asking him for some opinions, advices on, let's say, additional stuff, how we like to play, when we go high press, how we defend. Is it 1v1, and this kind of stuff. So he helped me a lot before the game, and also during the game. It was many times that I asked for his opinion what to do in this case, and he helped me a lot.
Anything else? Last one with Mike.
You guys have a competition now on Tuesday, then Saturday. Heavy schedule that comes here. Obviously, you're still adjusting to the team. How are you kind of taking yourself in regards to making sure that you're ready and making sure you're at your best, as you said what you're working towards?
I think it's gonna be. It's set now that we see day by day, how the body reacts, and with the medical team that we plan what's the best, or let's say worth taking a risk or not. And of course, I came here to play as many games as possible, but we also need to be smart at this time and just to see when my body feels good and when they give me a green light for the game.